What's up, everybody? Chris Scott here. I'm with the owner of Warriors of Wrestling, Joey Bellini. Joey, how are you doing today?
Not bad, man. How you doing?
I'm very excited about today. All day I was thinking about this. I was carefully crafting these questions, and you took a look over them, and you were like, man, these are easy. So you know what now? So now inside I'm a little just like defeated a little bit because I was like, I'm going to make this great. But you know what?
They're good questions, but a lot of these...
Okay. All right. Fine.
Let's see how it goes. And, maybe
Fine. We're going to keep it off nice, light, and sweet. You guys have rebounded great since the whole Rude Boy Riley incident.
We never really, with the exception of losing a performer that was at a top level in the company, former champion, we never really fell.
Yeah, you guys haven't. It's when that entire incident was on the news, and I had friends that didn't even know about Warriors hitting me up about it. I was like, whoa, this is gonna. I wonder what this is gonna do. And it's kind of, you guys just keep on rolling along, and the crowd is still drawing. It's still good.
It wasn't us. We didn't do this. I can't help or know what somebody does in the privacy of their own home, or on their computer, or cell phone, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Warriors of Wrestling, another company locally. I don't think they're around anymore. And my name were mentioned in every article. So, I went down. It was right before we were leaving for WrestleMania weekend in Orlando. And when we got there, I had my Warrior shirts because I'm doing the WrestleCon convention. And when I showed up there, I think it was 2 days. And the first day, I didn't even want to wear my shirt. I was just embarrassed. But then I spoke with Matt Stryker. He's like, it's not you. He's like, don't be ashamed of your company.
Matt's a cool guy, too. I got to meet him.
Very good guy. I know Matt when he started. Like Gleason's.
But this show obviously is not going to be about that entire incident because Warriors has grown so much. I'm fresh off of watching the documentary for the second time on YouTube. If you guys get a chance, definitely take a look at that. I will provide a link directly to that video with this video as well, and with the podcast link.
So much has happened since then. That's
absolutely
the first 5 years.
Yeah,
December 1st, we're coming up on the 11-year anniversary. So I like to think we've grown 100 times since then.
Oh, without a doubt. Like you just take a look at the old videos, and you take a look at the crowd that was drawn then. But now I look at it, and there's multiple rows. I'm like, okay. Well, okay, so Warriors actually has a following, and they're dedicated. They're still coming out. We
have almost 60,000. We're just shy, and I mean, by a few hundred shy of 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. A lot of independent companies can't say that. But go look at our YouTube. The
internet, it's helped indie promotions. You would agree, without a doubt. And what we're seeing now is we're seeing other promotions kind of blow up a little bit more. WWE used to have like a monopoly, full control in the United States. They still do, but I feel like there's more popularity to things like promotions like Ring of Honor, New Japan. You don't think so?
There is, but nobody's close. No, I mean, Impact just ran Queens for a taping. They drew like 150 people. I mean,
it's all about the draw. That's true.
I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, if WWE comes to town, what are they drawing?
A lot more.
Exactly.
A lot more.
So, and if somebody blows up on the indies, WWE's just snatching them.
That's true.
Whether they use them or not, they're still just snatching them up. There's nobody touching WWE.
Okay. So I have a series of questions that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about the beginning of Warriors of Wrestling first.
Impact went to Saudi Arabia, are they selling at a stadium?
No.
Okay.
No. I want to get your opinion on that too. The whole Saudi Arabia thing. Hulk Hogan out of nowhere, they reinstate him back into the Hall of Fame. Then like, oh yeah, you're gonna host the Saudi Arabia thing just like that. It's just, was that the right move? Did it make sense? Because I watched that pay-per-view, for little pieces of it, and I just hated the booking of it. But
well, you're asking me about Hogan, or you're asking me about the show itself?
The show itself and putting it together just seemed lazy. It seemed really lazy. The way
show
they put it all
itself,
together.
I mean, it had that tournament concept. In the main event, I don't think the show was good, but the thing with Hogan, he's a global name. He's a global icon. I don't think that was a bad idea at all to put him there. And people say, oh, he's coming out to Real American and an international company. Well, when he wrestled the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, that wasn't in America, and he came out to that. When he wrestled in Japan, he came out to Real American. So who cares? It's just that's what he's known for.
It's just, I seeing Triple H and seeing a bald Shawn Michaels and seeing...
I said the main event to me was just like Jericho.
Yeah. It's a draw. I get it. It's the names. You got to put out all the stops. I get it. And the whole Brock Lesnar joke, of course, unfortunately, Roman Reigns being diagnosed again with leukemia. It's very unfortunate.
I'm a huge Lesnar fan. I think he should always have the belt.
Yeah?
That's just me.
Yeah. I just... the way that match went out with Braun Strowman, you knew that there wasn't a lot of preparation brought into it because it was like a last-minute decision.
Could be.
That's what it felt like to me. I don't know.
Any guy that could lift a guy Braun Strowman's size that many times and do that to him, that's
true.
Some power.
That's very true.
That's some power.
Brock is a monster. He'll be a Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. Let's get into these series of questions now. Sure. Let's talk about the beginning of Warriors of Wrestling. And I'm just going to follow up on some of the takeaways I got from that documentary that I referenced before. What was it specifically that you thought you could do better than Johnny Rodz and the world of unpredictable wrestling?
Well, I wasn't going to use ticket sellers, guys that had no business being near a ring. Just because they could sell 30 tickets, he would put them on a show, put them in a main event, put them, in there with guys that unfortunately are going to get hurt wrestling these people. I wasn't going to let my show start an hour late and in turn end 3 hours later. Should have. We were going to have continuity with our shows and not just throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. A lot of things. It was just... That was and always will be a school, and that's fine. And they just do their little shows, but to ever think that they're legit. Their training was legit at one point. Now it's, I don't know. I don't go there. I haven't been there in a long time. I don't know anybody that goes there. I know a lot of people left there. I still talk to.
But when you were there, you learned a lot?
When I started there in 98, Skull was there, which is Big Vito. Angel from the Baldies was still there, Larry Briscoe. There was guys there that actually... were legit, trained legit, and that got passed on to the guys, and me, and so on. And it was good for a while. I'd say maybe like 2004 kind of changed where Johnny didn't come out of the office anymore, and it was just like everybody fucking around and fooling around and all kinds of nonsense.
So he really didn't show his face that much?
He was in the office making jewelry, and guys would go in there and talk to him for like 2 or 3 hours. That's what I love about my school. There's no office. It's a square room. You can
and you're there.
Yeah, and you can't go and hide somewhere.
That's true.
TK goes in the bathroom every once in a while and hides, but what have you,
TK, oh boy. Now, even though you, in your words, surpassed them, right? This is what you said in the documentary. Even though you surpassed them, do you still think about Gleason's at all? That's still in the back of your mind?
I think about times I've had there. But as far as their shows, no. I mean, if me and Jake do the Q&As and we review a match that's really bad, that's the only time I think about it. He'll ask me questions on the Thursdays Q&As, but other than that, I really don't. I have no idea what they're doing there. I don't care what they're doing there. If I see a feed sometimes, a video on a feed on Facebook, I might click on it. Usually I don't. No, I have my own shit to worry about here. We got 2 shows this weekend. We have a seminar Sunday. We have another show in 2 weeks, and then another one a week after that. I got enough on my plate here.
Now, you pride yourself on putting on the shows, no matter what. And a bunch of times it was referenced that every show, it's not easy to put together. There's always something. There's always a little something that pops up.
It's gotten easier. I remember the first show, the ring showed up 45 minutes before bell. The second show, the power was out in the town, at the town.
Insurance issues in the past, too. I think that was the
bit
Brooklyn
later
show.
On. Yeah, there was miscommunication with the guy and myself, the guy that owned or ran the Lyceum.
How was that documented, by the way? Like, that was on film. That was on the documentary. How did that all get documented? I'm curious.
Sal Bruccolari, who made the other documentary, what the fuck was the name of it? Independent Life, a Warrior Story. Okay. So he was filming it. He drove with me in a truck. So he had the camera on me, and he was filming other stuff. He just happened to be standing there filming.
Oh, it was a separate. Okay.
Yeah, that's a separate documentary. If you watch the credits for the first 5 years, I give credit to that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I have it at home if you want me to make it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
So walk me through like the entire process of putting a show together, and in just a brief way, like how does Joey Bellini put a show together next month?
Well, we start months. We got to rewind a few months back.
Okay. How many months prior to
depends
book
what
a
show.
show?
It depends what show. I mean, the anniversary show, we kind of want to have an idea what we're doing in the spring. I mean, and that's the truth. We know what we want to do. It might not always happen, but we have an idea of where we want to go.
And that's the biggest show. That's the biggest show of the year.
It's supposed to be.
Okay.
It doesn't always mean it's the biggest show as far as crowd. Because we've done bigger in different months. It just happens to be our anniversaries in December. December's not the best drawing month for wrestling. So So we have an idea of what we're doing, usually in the spring, and then we try to build from there. At least with the main event. The other matches, then guys leave or get hurt.
So whatever. You build around the main event. That's always like the go-to thing with every show. Build around the main event.
It's what we've tried to do.
Okay.
So then we say, all right, this is what we're doing in June. And June we usually have a lot of names, so we might not be as heavily storylined. Then in July is the Rumble, the Ultimate Survival, and then we try to branch off stuff from there. And don't forget, we had our women's champion left in April. Mm-hmm. So that kind of threw a monkey wrench into everything. Because we had to do different stuff now with Nikki and follow what Nyla was doing in Japan. We knew when she was coming back. She ended up losing the belt over there and winning it right before she came back. And then, we wanted to set it up again, what we were doing, which is good because now we could build it to the anniversary show.
Mm-hmm. So Nyla's actually a two-time champion?
Nyla was a two-time champion. Beat Nikki and she beat, I can't pronounce the girl's name. And that girl actually wants to come to the States, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
That's on YouTube. That's on that. The whole match. Both when she lost it and when she won it back are on that YouTube channel.
Okay. That's important to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So you build around the main event. You months in advance. You kind of have the date picked, what the main event's going to be. As far as like pulling out all the stops and getting all the guys booked, how long of a process does that take sometimes?
It depends. As far as what, like outside talent? Or?
Yeah, like let's say you get Billy Gunn. Let's just say.
It depends. Richie, who I really work with a lot, could say, "Listen, this guy's available. When can we bring him in?" Then I could fit him in somewhere. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Okay.
It's like somebody gets fired. I think he got fired or something, mm-hmm. or Adam Rose got fired, or Brooklyn Brawler got fired when we used him. Then we try to place them in. Sometimes it works like really great, and sometimes like fuck, I don't have a spot for him. Mm-hmm. We got to change some other things around. Mm-hmm.
In the past, I think David Cohen, who is frat boy father, a great friend of mine, he's mentioned to me certain guys like, oh, what do you think this wrestler's asking to get booked? And he mentioned like Ryback was asking for some ridiculous number,
and that's why you never seen him here.
Yeah, just way out there. Okay.
I don't think he's worth close to what he's at. Not even nowhere near what he's asking. That's just an astronomical number for a guy that's was never a main event player. Mm-hmm.
Are there any differences in booking the very first show, just like the logistics?
The very first show,
the very first show that you booked compared to your most recent show that you booked. What are the differences in logistics of putting?
First show was we were using whoever we could get. The guys that left Gleason's with me, they're going to be on the show, obviously. And we sprinkled in at the time. I think it was guys from IWF, which was Kevin Knight's promotion. And we still have guys that were from that, maybe not on the first show, but guys that came from that school that are with us now. Chris Steele or Abdul Nasir. Mm-hmm. And Karloff was from there, and he's gone now. But yeah, I mean, it was Jake wasn't the booker at the time. It was his partner Kaplan, who kind of started Warriors with me. Yeah, a lot different. Kaplan. Was more of an ECW fan. So he was like, his shows were filled with gimmick matches after gimmick matches after gimmick matches. Mm-hmm. And he lasted up until right before the 1 year anniversary. Mm-hmm. And Jake kind of, I don't know how, he just kind of stepped in with it. And we kind of toned down a lot of the violent matches. But we needed to do that in the beginning to just get some eyes on us.
Yeah, to bring a draw.
And we did more storylines, I think, when me and Jake. Because Jake, not only, he's also an ECW fan, but he's also an old NWA fan. So there's more storytelling with that. And me growing up watching, living in New York, WWF, and then I watched everything, but that was mainly my childhood was that, and then cable, not everybody had cable back in the 80s.
True. Okay. So 11 years ago, you were the Warriors of Wrestling, the Outcasts, the Misfits. These are the words that you said. What do you call yourselves now? If you're not the Misfits or the Outcasts, how do you label yourself now?
I think as far as I don't know, I'll tell you what we are.
Okay.
I don't know about what a label, but we're the one company that's run consistently every month for the past at least 9 of the last 11 years. Mm-hmm. Nobody else can say that. They'll run good shows and they'll run a lot, but they won't run every month. We do that. Nobody else can say that. We've canceled one show, knock on wood, and that was because of Superstorm Sandy, and the building.
Yeah, remember this area got really messed up.
But it wasn't here; it was in Point Pleasant.
Okay.
That got damaged. The venue for the 5-year anniversary was Fast Break. That got flooded, And we thank God, because we didn't have Funstation at the time, because it wasn't. They were doing some kind of construction. It just happened to be that the construction fell through, and they wanted us back here, and we're back ever since. So the building opened up here, so we were able to do the anniversary show here. We already had the flyers made up for there, because that's where we were going to go do it.
You still had a good turnout for that show?
Yeah, because we did a lot of charities for. The donation didn't. I think it went to the tunnel run that they do for 9/11. But that's where they wanted the money to go, so that's where we sent it. I don't know why that was. And again, this was 6 years ago. And then we did a Toys for Tots drive at the same show. So we had a pretty good turnout. Yeah, I don't know why it was it was a charity. Maybe they were distributing the money, but it was the same charity that was doing the tunnel run. I guess they started one end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I think it's Towers for Tunnel.
Something like that. I don't know how that got involved, but I remember that was something to do with it. Again, 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's in the past.
Yeah.
But the show always goes on, no matter what. That's just the theme. No matter what the challenge is, it happens. Someone steps up. And you seem like a guy that always has someone in the background that's ready to step up if a important piece is
I always
out.
say that next man up.
Next man up.
I'm a big football fan. Big Buffalo Bills fan. And,
Sorry.
and a lot of the coach there says, it's the next man up mentality. Somebody gets hurt, the next player has to come in. And that's the way I kind of run the roster like that. And I tell students, be ready, because you never know. And it's happened. It's happened a lot. Listen, you got your gear, and then when somebody says they don't have their gear, I want to punch them in the face. Because I always say, have your gear. It's next man up mentality.
It's like a football team. Everyone is suited up. Even if you're the third guy in the depth chart, even if you're the third string quarterback.
You never know.
You never know. Exactly.
You got to be ready to play.
A guy that I see who plays a very important role for the company is Jake, or Logan Black, I think. You're rolling your eyes. This is what I'm seeing from behind the scenes.
I'm joking.
Right. From behind the scenes, I'm seeing that this guy, he does a lot for the company as a trainer, as a booker. And I see him like, is this the one guy that Joey can't replace? What do you think about that?
No, anybody's replaceable.
Everyone's replaceable. Okay.
I'm not saying I want to replace Jake, but if he is. If he's not, there's been shows he was in London. but he still helped out with it. It's not. I'm not saying it'll be easy to replace him, but everybody's replaceable, even me.
As far as to the company as a booker and one of the head trainers, there's a replacement for that.
There always is. There always is. It might not be immediate, but of course there is. I'm sure. No, I don't think anybody thought Kaplan's irreplaceable. Look at Riley. We were just talking about him. He was a top guy.
He was the face. He was.
And
NXT,
all of a sudden he was gone.
Got
replaced.
Yeah.
Might not have been the next show, but he was.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, he was kind of like, oh, I guess he's long forgotten.
You know what? You always groom people to learn different stuff. Justin Adams is a guy that stepped up and helps me out with a lot of shit. I'm not saying he's going to replace Jake, but you always want to groom somebody to be your right hand man.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. And Justin, he wasn't. How long has he been at Warriors now?
I think his first show here, I'll say September 17th, so last year. And I think he came in a month or two before that. So a little over a year.
Okay.
A year and a half.
Yeah, so he's come in and okay, that's good. That's good. He does know a lot of stuff though. I've talked to him outside the wrestling world. He does the camera stuff. He was really into the whole live streaming, and he seems like he's on top of that as well. So that's good. Now, as far as guys like Sonny Kiss on Lucha Underground, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Vinny Pacifico, he's doing something Ring of Honor. I don't know if he's working
Probably
out
driving
with
him crazy.
Probably driving them crazy, yeah. But like as an owner for a wrestling school and a promotion, and you're seeing these guys who've passed through Warriors and now they're making it to like an international level, how does that make you feel?
That's awesome. Yeah, it is. Vinny started. He didn't start here. He was.
Was he in Jersey or something?
Yeah, some really garbage place. He came here, and I think he really learned his craft here. Sonny, same place. But I think he made his big mark here at Warriors, and of course I'm very happy for both of them. I really want to see a guy that came straight out of here though, really explode. And I think we have a few guys that are on that radar.
What are some guys off the top of your
Tony
head?
Booz, Benny. There's another guy I don't want to mention because he's kind of. He's away for now. Maybe in December. After December, I'll announce who that is.
I got you. I think I know where you're going with
he's
that.
He's another guy. There's a few others.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fair.
I don't want to name names and then not name others. People get upset.
Well, I got you. I totally get that. The mothers, they come up with pitchforks and fire. I get it.
Exactly.
Now, what I haven't been with the company for the 11 years. I've been here for like basically a year. Right, basically a year. I was like a sub-in for the 9th anniversary show. That was the very first show I ever did.
I was just going to say, when was your first show?
My very first show was the 9th anniversary show. Then I think I did the next one. Then it was like a year of nothing. And then all of a sudden, next man up, I got a call. Oh, okay, sure, I'll do it.
Is that how it works?
Here's what happened. I get a call from Dave. And I think it's a week until the show. Maybe. Right. A week until the anniversary show. Or maybe 2 weeks. And Dave tells me, he goes, yeah, so are you free to commentate the 10th anniversary show? Because the other guy's gone. I was like, oh, sure, I'll be free. Yeah.
The other guy had to be shown the door.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happened with that instant? Because all of a sudden he
was a guy that thought he knew. He's like, when I started, I go back to Gleason's. Mm-hmm. Guys there like Vito and guys like that were like legit tough guys. And then you got this fucking guy. I don't even want to mention his name. Mm-hmm. That's not. And he's like, he thinks he knows wrestling and he thinks he knows this. Like, shut the fuck up. You don't know anything, dude. Like, you're a joke. Shut the fuck up and get out of here. Yeah, there was some stuff on Facebook. He's sticking his nose in business that he had no business mentioning. Mm. I'm like, if I ever see you in the street, I'll smack the shit out of you. I seen him at Jake's wedding and say 2 words to me. And that wasn't the place. But he's a little fucking piece of shit. Other choice words I won't use on here.
I got you. But yeah, no, I randomly got the call, and suddenly I'm calling the 10th anniversary show, and I got to call Karloff winning the belt.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. Karloff won the belt. Rude Boy Riley was there.
That was a few months before Riley was gone.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the 9th anniversary.
Yeah.
The 10th anniversary.
Oh, yeah. That is 9th anniversary. 10th anniversary, Juba won. Juba won the belt from Karloff.
Karloff won the No Limits and he became the first Triple Crown champion.
I remember calling that. And I remember Karloff's last show, what was in October. And I shook his hand. I was like, listen, I know you're probably concussed right now or something, because he was like feeling a little bloodied up or whatever, and he didn't remember everything. But I wanted to say, like, congratulations on a great career. The very first show that I called, you won the belt. So this is like a special moment for me too, just like to see that
him winning the belt was really a long time coming, really, because there was plans.
He's a veteran, yeah, he's around for a while.
But there was plans to give him the belt long before that, and then the politicians have their way, and then I'm not talking about Jake either. And then I kind of agreed with it at the time, and then when he finally did win it ended up being better off anyway. But yeah, he's that's why I wanted to make him the first Triple Crown champion. Now
I was going to ask this later, but the politicians, the politicking of wrestling, what? I keep hearing that word. What is it, and who's involved with it? I'm
not gonna say who's involved in it, but
fair enough. Okay,
it's just fucking like. See me, I'm kind of like I'm not really involved with the indie wrestling, so I don't give a fuck. Who do you know? You're not getting me booked anywhere, so I don't give a fuck if you get me booked. It's just like, if you get me booked, I'll get you booked. Fuck you. Okay. If you're not good enough, I don't. Because I look at some of these guys that send me tapes or somebody refers me, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I just can't stand, because politics doesn't always get people booked. It prevents people from getting booked. Okay. And there's good guys out there that I didn't book because somebody was in my ear saying don't book them. But then I did. And then when I did, it's like, fuck. I remember King of New York, people don't bring in Sean Studd. And I'm like, why? This guy. And I just had this conversation with somebody that was at my house last weekend, who I'm not really allowed to say is at my house, but he was like, yo, this guy's at Booker T's school. He's all over the country. He's like, he's the son of a fucking legend. Why wouldn't you book him?
Is it a lot of
And he was in the ring with him saying this guy works good. He knows how to be a big man. That match was really good.
Is there like a lot of pettiness when it comes to this? Like, this guy's like, I won't go to this show because this guy's there, and you did this to that guy.
I don't know what goes on because I don't go to these fucking shows. I'd rather watch paint dry, but some of these shows,
it's like an inner fraternity of these indie wrestlers.
Some of them.
Yeah?
Some of them.
That's interesting. I never, you know what? I should have assumed that's the case, because that's just how people are. They get themselves into cliques.
It's sad.
That's just how it works.
Get over on your own ability. Not who you know.
That's true. Okay. By the way, so Will Ferrara, Spartan, he was on the Jericho
I still call him
Cruise.
Spartan.
Yeah.
Spartan.
Yeah, I saw him on the Jericho Cruise, and that's another guy that.
Did you go up to him?
No, I didn't get a chance.
You should go up to him. Hey, Spartan, how you doing? He probably looked at you.
Dave and I, we were in the crowd, and we were like yelling Spartan. We were trying to get.
Did he hear you?
No, we were trying to get his attention. It was mid-match. He was like in the middle of his entrance and with his tag team. He was doing some weird shit that I thought was weird. But hey,
Spartan came over with me from Gleason's. I remember him. He was a 16-year-old kid.
He was talking about on his first show, or in New York, the first show in New York, he had to wear a mask.
He did because we didn't know what was going to go on, and he was under 18 at the time. And it was just so I could get him on the show. You know.
Okay. You mentioned Tony Booze before, and what I've noticed with him is it seems like he's getting pushed to the moon, and I think he works very hard. What is it that guys like Tony Booze or Chris Bennett, what are the things that they do that stand out to you that everyone else? Heart? Okay.
Heart. I think heart, not in these cases, but I think heart sometimes could even take a substitute for ability. Not saying that they don't have ability, but to me, heart, if you show heart and you show drive, and Slade, he's here every day.
Yeah, he's here today.
So, you know, that shows me
powerhouse. Slade's a real powerhouse.
Right. I got in the ring with him, wrestled him, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because I always relied on my strength. I'm getting older now, but yeah, that was rough. I was like, come on. We're doing like 4 or 5 minute things. I was like dead.
Slade looks good in the ring.
20-something-year-old kid, 42-year-old man. A little different.
Wait, how old is Slade?
He's got to be 26, I think.
Slade's 26.
Yes. What did you think he was?
I thought he was older than 26.
He's maybe 27, but he's in that.
I'm thinking he's in his 30s.
No.
Young. Oh, my. Wow. Okay.
So, you know,
he's got the look. I think he's got a look for...
They call him Hiho Joey B, the son of Joey B. But, yeah, that was rough. But he's a guy that, you know, he's here all the time, so I wanted to find something for him to do. You know, and if I put him on, you know, pre-show matches and squash matches, just to get him out there. Deanna Diaz. She's another one that's learning. She's not where she needs to be yet, but she's learning. She's here all the time. And she's tough. And somebody gave her a fucking black eye 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And I said, what'd she do? Well, she went right back at him. Good. You know, she's tough in there. Sometimes she's too liberal with her shots, and I know Nikki tagged her back when she wrestled her, and you know, whatever. That's good, too.
No, when you say liberal with her shots, meaning...
Like fucking punching people
like
in
really
face,
punching
yes.
people. Okay.
And, you know, there's some people, you know...
I've heard that about her, okay.
Here it's one thing, but you're going to go outside, and, you know, Nikki's not going to take that, nor should she. You know, so, but she's here all the time, and she wants to learn, so that's somebody, I always try to find something for her. Even if she's not ready, because, listen, there's going to be matches out there that aren't going to be the greatest for us, but they're still a lot better than some of the shit I see. Some of the shit I see on the indies is fucking dreadful. I don't know how a promoter could sit there and be like, oh, this was great, or I want to book this person.
What are, like, those specific things that you'll see? Like, can you give, like, an example?
Untrained guys wearing street clothes. Like what I'm wearing now, obviously I'm not wrestling right now. This is what they're wearing in the ring. And it's like guys not in shape. Guys don't even know how to fucking lock up.
Would you allow a guy to enter the ring in headbands for wristbands and jean shorts, like John Cena? Would you allow that guy to walk into your ring?
Depends if it's part of the gimmick. Like if Jake did it, because his gimmick is kind of that grungy Balls Mahoney style gimmick. He doesn't do it, but I could understand that. If we have a guy like Tony Booze doing it, or Justin Adams, I'd be like, no, because that's not your character, you know?
Okay. More things about the business. I recently read an article about storytelling versus actual wrestling and how different promotions kind of value certain things a little bit more. At least it appears that way. WWE on house shows is much different than WWE on TV, but most people see WWE on TV.
pay-per-views are also a lot different than TV also.
True, 100%. As far as the TV product specifically for WWE, what they put out there compared to the TV product put out there by Ring of Honor and Impact and New Japan, all these other big promotions. I forgot his name. I don't know if it was Dave Meltzer or someone part of the Observer. They end up saying that WWE is 25% wrestling, 75% storytelling. Impact is 50-50, and Ring of Honor is 75%
what channel
wrestling.
Ring of Honor on?
Not on TV. It's on the internet though. Yeah.
Okay. What channels were on?
USA.
How many people have the USA Network?
A lot.
How many people have what's Pop? Is that what Impact's on?
Maybe.
Okay.
It used to be Spike.
Okay. How many people have USA Network?
A lot of people.
So that's the TV wrestling. If that's
so storytelling wins.
Well, you like I said, the pay-per-views are one way, the house shows another, because they don't have commercials, they don't have restrictions. Where some on USA, they have to fit the matches inside. Once in a while they'll do a 20-something minute match, but you know, yeah, it's what they do. I think to be a successful company, I think you have to model yourself after the most successful company.
Okay.
I don't want to. Why would you model yourself after something down here?
Okay.
Because that's where everybody else is.
That's fair.
They are the top.
That's very fair.
Anybody that says any otherwise, they're idiots. They have the best athletes, the best trained athletes. They have the best production. No, don't get me wrong. I like the old great gringy ECW. It's 'cause as an alternative. I like the Lucha Underground Temple, but WWE is by far they're a global force.
There's no arguing with that.
Everything they do is first class. Everything they do. I don't know how people could even argue it.
I don't know. I watch some matches in like Ring of Honor or New Japan, and you look at Chris Jericho specifically, like what he's able to do in New Japan compared to WWE. It just seems like he's able to be more outside the box and free.
Sure, he can be.
And in the ring, he's taking more risks, or other guys are taking more risks in the ring compared to what they do in WWE. And I get
How often is Chris Jericho doing that in New Japan?
Not that often. Once in a while.
Once in a while. He's not wrestling a full-time schedule. Who's wrestling a full-time schedule in WWE? Seth Rollins? He can't be getting hurt because they need him, especially now that Roman Reigns is out. So these guys can't be killing themselves because your body can only take so much. You know what I mean?
So you want to, as far as Warriors of Wrestling, you want to model the promotion around what WWE is doing?
Of course. That's because that's what everybody knows. Remember when Impact had that octagon?
Yeah, it was weird.
So when you think of wrestling, what do you think of? Do you think of the octagon
I don't
ring,
think
or
of
do
the
you think
octagon.
of the squared circle?
Yeah.
Right there, it kind of throws you off. When people come in here, I want people to think wrestling. I want them to think what they see on TV. You could have guys go out there and put on a Dave Meltzer 5-star match and make it look where it's not smooth and botched up and all this stuff, but they got their shit in. Or you could watch a guy like Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins, which is smooth as anything and looks picture perfect. You know what I mean?
That's true. Okay, that's fair. Those are good. That's a good opinion. I agree with that. Now that's at that perspective. They're wrestling all the time. It doesn't have to be. Okay, that makes sense. Now, when you're selecting a guy to be the champion.
Remember WrestleMania in San Francisco was Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins?
Yeah, that was the first time they had the play icon. Yeah. It was outside.
And
I remember that.
He went for
it was like
the curb stomp and he hit him with the RKO.
A mega RKO.
Awesome, right?
Sickest RKO I've ever
WrestleMania.
seen. Yeah.
How many times have you done that on Raw or SmackDown? None. You save it for the big time. Big show.
It's all about the pay-per-view. Okay. Yeah, that's
what it's supposed to be. I mean, Hogan slammed Andre WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 4. Other than that, he didn't. I mean, Ultimate Warrior did all over the place after that, but...
What are some things you think Warriors can do to get closer to that? And what's realistically possible?
To get closer to WWE?
To get closer to it.
Somebody give
the steps that need to be taken.
It's impossible. Nobody. I don't think anybody can. I really don't. I mean, they're going to be around forever because it just... The guy knows what he's doing. People shit on Vince McMahon. I don't know how you can. The guy's a billionaire. How do you... At the end the end of the day... That's what matters. I don't give a fuck about your wrestling moves. You got to give a fuck about the almighty dollar. That's why he's able to buy all these indie guys and do whatever, and go with Saudi Arabia or go to Japan and go wherever he wants because he knows how to make money. The guy's
Saudi show kills
Vince McMahon
me, though.
is a genius, and you can't say anything else. Oh, God. Do I think the product's exciting? No, I don't. But that's because I've lived through so many eras of wrestling. You know, I don't watch wrestling anymore. Not like a wrestling fan. I do watch it, but not like I got to be home at 8:00 on Monday night to watch and see what Roman Reigns is doing.
What are some wrestlers around? It doesn't just have to be in WWE or just outside of WWE. What are some wrestlers that are household names that you look at and are like, that guy's got it?
Lesnar.
Lesnar's
a moneymaker.
Yeah,
he's a draw. John Cena, and I'm not a Cena fan, but you can't say he's not a draw. I guess, I mean, Kenny Omega. And I'm just going by what other people say with him. You talking about old time? You talking about right now?
I'm talking about like right now. Guys that stand out to you as like the best in the business. You know, surprised you haven't mentioned AJ Styles.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of Styles? Why?
Just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah? Is it because of the high fly shit and all the jumpy stuff?
There's no connection for me there. I liked Ambrose for a while. I'm just kind of like...
What connects you specifically with the different wrestlers?
Elias, I like.
Elias, okay.
Elias, I like. I like gimmicks. I like something that...
Okay.
Something that entertains me. Now, that's today. When I was watching it religiously and you had guys like Steve Austin, when they first were starting up with the 316, it was never done before, and I was like, oh, this guy is cool. You know, with the way he was flipping a bird and telling off his boss, that was awesome. I mean, now they still do it, but it's just like this.
No, it's been done already.
Recycled, when they did the Authority thing a few years back with Seth and Randy and Triple H, and it's like it's just like taking out Triple H and taking out Vince McMahon, putting in Triple H, and taking out Randy Orton, putting in Rock, putting in Randy Orton. you know.
Cut and paste.
Yeah.
Cut and paste. It's interesting though how
I grew up in the rock and wrestling era.
Mm-hmm.
I lived through the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. I've seen it all. Like there's nothing. I don't. Back then, you would have to stay home or put a VCR tape in and watch wrestling because you want to see what's going to happen next, especially in Austin in the Monday Night Wars. Now, what do I need to see?
There's some people that think the Bullet Club or the Elite and the Young Bucks, but they're saying, and this is just I guess people on the internet, and they could be wrong. That's possible, but they're saying like that side of the business is the future of wrestlers expose themselves on the internet outside of the company.
No, it's a phase.
Yeah, it'll die out. Okay, that's fair.
I don't know how anybody could watch the Young Bucks do some nice moves, but I mean they're like, what are they, 185 pounds? I mean I don't.
Super kick party, all the super kicks.
I would love to see Lesnar versus the both of them. Like, you know, it's just like
crush the both of them. Handicap.
It's not, I don't know how you went from a guy looking like Paul Orndorff or Don Morocco to this shit. It's like, come on, it's not believable after a while. It's like, you know what? If you were to go out in the street, you're gonna fuck with somebody like Don Morocco? No. If you see these guys out in the street, I'd be like, these are wrestlers? Maybe the high flyers. I don't know if they're wrestlers.
So if Joe Bellini got to book it, Brock Lesnar in a handicap match against the Young Bucks.
Fuck yeah.
Brock would destroy the Young Bucks and just crush them in half.
I like legitimacy, you know.
Okay.
You know, I just.
What about guys like Braun Strowman?
He's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Just like Elias. I like Elias now, and I think he's just starting out. I think Braun Strowman is kind of really green. And I think he's going to be really good one day.
Yeah, Elias exploded, though.
I just think he's very entertaining.
When I first saw him, I was like, I hate this guy. But he's doing his job, I guess, because I hate this guy.
Yeah.
And now I love him.
I do, too. I think he's really good. And there's guys that I thought were going to be really good that weren't. The guy, Corbin.
Baron Corbin?
Yeah, I thought he was going to be something and never really did anything.
Hated him. Still hate him. Now they have him as the Raw GM, and he's bald, and...
I don't understand why that is.
He's just in a black hole of abyss, and they don't know what to do with him. Well. My favorite guy was Bray Wyatt. I thought he was a great character.
He's another one I thought that would. Is he still even on TV?
He's MIA right now after the whole.
So maybe they'll repackage him.
Yeah, after the whole Matt Hardy thing, after he retired in September out of nowhere because of an injury, they were like, "We don't know what to do with you." So
that's a shame because I thought Rusev. I really liked him. I thought he was going to be. The problem is though with a lot of these guys is that there's nowhere else. You build up Rusev with Cena back a few years ago. What do you do with him after that? Mm-hmm. Even if he's a champion, what do you do with him after that? He can't leave. There's no place else for him to go.
I think one of the biggest problems with WWE is they have so much talent and they have so many stars.
Not only that, Kane has been there for 20, 21 years.
A long, long time.
But it's like years ago, guys would leave and come back. Show up on another show. There's no place else for him to go. Mm-hmm. Like Jericho leaves and comes back, so that's a little bit. Everybody can't do that, you know. And it's just like it's the same Big Show. The guy just doesn't leave.
Yeah, now the Big Show's in the bar. It's crazy.
Now,
like, what?
Now Mysterio's back. All right, but he's old now. He's not doing the stuff that made him.
Mysterio was on the cruise. He was on the cruise, got to the Bahamas, flew out to the SmackDown.
Really?
Yeah, that's what happened. He was on the cruise for a podcast with Jericho. When they got to the Bahamas, they flew him out to SmackDown. He's all over the place.
Wow.
Jericho, after the cruise, he got set for, I think, a New Japan match, and then he had to go and tour in Australia with Fozzy.
So he didn't come back on the boat?
He's all over the place. Mysterio did not come back on the boat.
Jericho.
Jericho was there the entire time, and Jericho was drunk.
Yeah?
Jericho was drunk off his face. I shared an elevator with him. He was trashed.
How was Fozzy?
Fozzy was great.
Like 80s metal?
Influenced by Ozzy Osbourne, without a doubt, and Black Sabbath. Influenced by them.
Maiden too, right? Because I know they did some Maiden covers.
Yeah, they're influenced by that thrash hair metal.
Is that the style they play?
Pretty much. More modern, though, too. Kind of a mixture. Okay. So it's not as screamy, death metal-y.
Is he growling up there?
Nah, no growling. No growling. None of that. I don't really like growling as much anyway. Got a few more stuff for you. We're going to get into Joey B, the character. Because...
What character? I think that's just me.
You're a sick fuck, all right? Let's go through this real quick.
Go ahead.
You went from Joey the B... Right,
Italian
Italian.
That wasn't my idea.
It wasn't your idea. Okay, was that Johnny Rod's idea?
Somebody was saying Joey B. They were mocking him, and he was doing something under the ring. They kept saying Joey B. Joey. They're mocking Johnny. And he gets out and he goes, "That's it.
That's it.
That's how the name is made." And I'm sitting there like, "Well, you already called me Joey B." no, B with a double E at the end. And I was like, oh my God.
Like that's what you think of.
And then he made me the Italian B, and I was just like,
What?
okay. So I tried to embrace the gimmick. I got like the yellow and black singlet with a B fucking. And then I was like, so you know what? Let's get rid of this.
It just sounds sad. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
But then eventually, I don't know where you went from there. I don't know what your next character
wife beater.
was. It was the wife
So
beater.
Prince
okay.
Nana from Ring of Honor.
Not just a wife beater. There was a white supremacist.
That was later.
That was later on?
So
okay.
The wife beater was Prince Nana wanted to do a tag team with me.
Okay.
And we're going to call ourselves the wife beaters. But then I was like, I'm going to stick with my old partner who's BA. And me and him, he's like, well, then use the name. So he did. The white supremacist wife beater came a few years later where, how did it happen?
Yes, please tell me. What was the thought process?
It wasn't me and BA. It was me and Jay Reynolds. And
I saw it downstairs. There was a
I know.
shirt.
I'll tell you.
I saw Chris Romano was on. I had no idea he was part of the wife
I'll
beater.
tell you what happened. So we were wrestling. We came back. Me and Jay came back together. We were going to do the wife beaters. And there was a firefighter and his partner were there. And this is 2006. And the whole place was filled with firefighters. Again, this is Johnny's tickets. A big dude, really big.
Okay.
Good athlete, but very green. So Johnny's like, go out there and help these guys. They're selling a lot of tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the ticket selling thing. Well, firefighters. And on the news, they were finding bones at Ground Zero. So
Okay.
I get on the mic and I'm like, get over 9/11. Happened years ago. And I really went in on him.
Okay.
And I asked him beforehand, I said, what could I say? And he's like, and he was cool about it. And these people were pissed.
Okay.
So the last...
Really pushing
Really
pushing it there.
So...
Get over 9/11.
I told him I was going to drop a building on... I was big.
Oh, no.
So Jay was like, you still have that Confederate flag, so we were going to start a feud with the Sunset Saints who were Spanish. I said, yeah. He's like, bring it. I said, okay. So it was still wrestling the firefighters. We pulled out the flag and we started walking around the ring with it. Fans were cheering it. I'm like, it's all minorities there. They thought it was great. So I started goose stepping with it. Just did it.
Okay.
Put the flag. We did the match. We knew the next thing we were going to do was wrestle the Spanish kids.
Okay.
So the Musketeer, who another joke, but he had me in the ring one day and he's like, look, why don't you come out with the flag and yell white power? I was like, oh, okay, sure. Then I took it another step. I said, Jay, I'm going to get a white pillowcase and I'm going to put a hood on. So the night, Johnny had no idea I was going to do this. And cut the thing, put the hood on. Jay's got the flag. We're getting ready to come to the ring. And this guy, Flex, was like, yo, he's like, I can't wait to see this guy. He goes, this guy looks like New Jack in the front row. I can't wait to see his expression when you come out. We came out, and Johnny's mouth was like... And I was pointing at all the blacks in the audience, and I was like, I heard a lot. I remember what I said. I heard a lot of oohs and ahs and oh my God when I came out here.
Okay.
And let me tell you something about God. God is a white man, and he has blue eyes and a bald head. And I pulled off the hood, and he's made in my image. And Johnny's like, and we were still doing the white power. We never said Heil Hitler, but we were doing the white power.
So Heil Hitler was just too far. That was
yeah,
just
that
too
was
much.
too far.
Okay.
We did the white power salute, and then we started bringing in non-whites into the group, like they were sympathizers. For
Okay.
us. And they were getting heat too. So I was like, okay, this is working. And then Johnny, with issues there, and that was the end of that. And then we brought it here, and the first few shows we were wrestling the Latin Revolution. So what better to get these guys over than to have them beat on us?
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a time where you were wrestling. Okay, so you were wrestling as the wife beaters outside.
So wait, so when we started Warriors, BA Kid comes back around. He's Puerto Rican,
Right.
and he was walking around the ring and he's ripping up the Cuban flags and all these Spanish flags, and he called me. I was like, Joe, I can't do this no more. I said, why not? He goes, there was a kid yelling at me, white power, in the audience. I said, so what? He goes, he wasn't white. I was like. That was in South River, which is like a...
Oh, no. Oh, no. Those kids may not have known what it was that you guys were doing.
They weren't that young. They knew.
No, they knew?
They knew.
White power. Oh, boy. Okay.
Some fella goes in the Chappelle show when that, the blind KKK
I
guy.
love that. I love that. I love that. I love that bit so much. That's a classic Chappelle bit. Okay, so it's good to know that Joey B is a man of limits, and the Heil Hitler was just a little bit too much.
And you know how we turned face is when Abdul Nasir was
doing... Wait, you guys turned face?
Yeah.
How do you guys turn face?
Abdul Nasir was doing the Muslim gimmick.
I was going to get to that next, okay.
So he's doing this, well, people are going to hate, who are they going to hate more? We're the heroes because we are still Americans, so they just started... And then we kind of got rid we still did the wife beater thing, we got rid of the Confederate flag and stuff, but yeah. They were cheering us.
Yeah, we got rid of the Confederate flag. We toned it down.
Hanging
a
in my
little
garage
bit.
now, next to the Buffalo Bills flag.
We toned it down a little bit.
Toned it down a little bit.
Okay, so now let's talk about the whole Camacho turning into Abdul Nasir, that entire development, because it worked. It seemed to work gloriously.
Well, what happened was he missed a show, and he was going to be back the next show. So whatever. So me, Jake, and Sam Gomez would drive around promote together. And this is when Legends of Wrestling was on WB 24/7.
Okay.
For the network, and they did a show called Patriotism in Wrestling. And they were talking about the Sergeant Slaughter character and the Iron Sheik character, and I was like, man, I always loved the Muhammad Hassan character. So I said, Jake, what do you think about this? I go, let's say Camacho missed a show because he went to jail and he found Allah, he found Islam. So Sam gets on his phone and he's looking up names, and Abdul Nasir means something, Hail the Victorious One. It's been years. And we gave it to Camacho. We presented it to him. He's like, I never thought about doing that. And then he's seen how much we were putting into this. I mean, we went to get a camel for one of the anniversary shows. We had a guy come out and he was bowing to Mecca with him.
Oh my God.
And we went to the mosque that they were going to build at Ground Zero. It's on YouTube, and he's talking, the cameras go on him, but as soon as he went like this, the cameras, I guess, knew it was wrestling, and they kind of walked away. Then he's walking over to these other guys protesting. They're hugging him.
I saw that on the documentary video. Yeah, that was part of the documentary.
But he played the part really well, too. So, take somebody that knows what they're doing to do it.
But you even took it so far so where you had him go against B.A. Kid. You hyped up the show. Yeah, and this was in the documentary. You had the national anthem play.
9/11 at the 9/11
on 9/11,
show, yeah.
And then you had him come out and immediately interrupt it, and
I didn't interrupt the anthem. I waited for it to play because I won't. That's I think disrespectful to the country. But
you had Nasir come out and demand silence so he could pray.
The Mecca,
yeah. Genius.
That's heel heat.
Genius.
Because that's again, the BA Kid was affiliated with the wife beaters again at that point. So how do you turn us face? But again, against somebody that you just want to kill. You have to cheer somebody.
And those storylines,
our ideals might be fucked up, but we're still Americans, going to fight for America. That was my mentality. That worked, I think. I was surprised when we started getting cheered.
And those storylines, they brought people in.
Yeah.
They grew Warriors of Wrestling.
And that feud, BA and Camacho or Abdul had some a lengthy feuds. Like it went over a few different shows, a few different years and stuff. I kept going back to it.
And has Nasir been a heel since?
Yeah.
Keep him with heel. Okay.
Well, now he's with Carter, so
Two other promos I want to get into. You show up at Gleason's gym. This is when you guys, were now in New York. You were in his
that was
house.
before we ran our first New York show, and it could be seen at. You look up Joey B goes to Gleason's gym, and we went there. It was a Wednesday morning, and the owner was there. He's in the video, and he's like, "Does Johnny know you're here?" I said, "Yeah, he knows." And I just went from there. Because I got tired of this guy constantly talking about me. Like, even I know students I have today that come to the school. They say, yeah, we went to Johnny's first, and he brings up Don't Go to Warriors. And I'm like, he said, it's backyard. I'm like, but I'm using his training. How can we say that? So I got tired of it. And I went there and I did what I had to do. He actually thought it was funny, I heard.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I heard.
In his ring, calling these guys out. You're just there.
I called them all out. I said, come on down.
I thought that was great. And they ended up...
I don't think anybody got mad. Maybe his lap boy, Mikey Firezone, got upset. But
none of them knew about it. None of them knew.
No. Oh, the owner, the guy that was on tape saying...
he knew because he saw.
No, he was mad afterwards because I tricked him.
Okay.
But the guys...
So that guy is the owner of Gleason's gym.
Bruce Silver.
Whatever his name is. Okay.
Like yeah.
Okay.
Johnny thought it was funny, from what I understand.
Hey, that's great. The other promo... and then I'm going to ask if there's any other promos that I haven't seen. The Tim Arson promo. Now that you have a newborn child, right? I want to know if you look at this from any different light, but the whole thing going on with Tim Arson, get into that. I think it got personal between families.
At this point, we were friends again.
Okay.
He told me to do the baby.
Oh, okay. He told you. Okay.
He told me to do that. He was there. No, he wasn't there at the mall when we did it. He was there at his house when we drove up. But me and Timmy were good friends at one point, and then when I left Johnny's, I don't know why he kind of attacked me, even though he was wrestling for me, and I went back at him. He talked shit about me on a message board. I put up naked pictures of his wife from Howard Stern. But then we talked again. We did a match here at the 2-year anniversary. Put him over, and he said to me, he's like, Johnny would never do that. He's like, but you did. And we were cool up until the end. I mean, I remember the last time I talked to him before he passed away. We were talking about football. Timmy had his demons. He had his demons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you punted a fake baby. And you
baby.
said the next time you're going to make sure it's the real one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in the Best Buy parking lot.
I saw that. I was like, that's the Best Buy parking lot. Yeah. Okay.
It is what it is.
Now, of course, your child, 11 months old, right?
He will be.
He was going to be 11 months old. And you name him Anakin Sky, which is amazing because I love Star Wars. And I'm assuming you love Star Wars as well.
Yes.
Okay. Important question.
I didn't come up with the name.
You did not come up with a name. Whoa. Okay.
His mother has 4 kids before him, all start with the letter A. And she's like, oh, the name Anakin Sky is really cool. She doesn't know Star Wars. She knows who Anakin Skywalker is, but she did not know who he becomes.
Okay.
And then I told her. She's like, I didn't know that. Too late now.
It's on the birth certificate. Nothing we can do.
Yeah. No, even before he was born, she was still going to do the name.
That's crazy. I know about that. All right.
She liked the name. But she thought, she got him confused with Luke, I think.
Oh.
As far as the hero type thing. She didn't know he became a murderer and all this stuff,
The younglings. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
So you are a big Star Wars fan,
yeah.
I would imagine. Okay. What, this is now outside of wrestling because we're going to get set to wrap this up. We'll keep it light here. In the Star Wars and all the movies, I'm talking about the original trilogy, prequel, and like the latest 3, which are what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
What do you think?
I mean, I know my favorite is Empire Strikes Back.
That's mine too.
Yeah, it has
Empire, Jedi is like right behind it because I like Jedi too. I'm a big fan of the Emperor.
Return or less?
Return of
okay.
Jedi.
Good.
And I think after that, I'd say Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, Star Wars, New Hope.
What'd you think of Solo?
Solo, and then probably the one I don't like is Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. You don't like?
Oh, and then you got this one, the new one, which I'm kind of.
There's a new one. What's out now?
The one that just what was the last one?
Well, didn't Solo come out?
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Okay.
I didn't mention that one. I don't know where I put that.
Solo came out after The Last Jedi. Solo came out in May.
I'm talking about ranking.
Mm-hmm. Ranking them. Okay.
I
So you didn't like Last Jedi? It was a little out there.
I don't know how I feel about it.
It was a little out there, Last Jedi. I liked it. It wasn't up there with my top 3. Nowhere near. But
I liked The Force Awakens and Rogue One a lot more.
I liked The Force Awakens. I thought The Force Awakens was kind of like a whole like.
They set up
a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of symbolism in it.
But they set up a lot of stuff, like her parents, Snoke, and then Last Jedi just came and wiped it all out. I'm like,
what?
Yeah,
Snoke's dead?
I don't know what they. Maybe they'll figure out it's just a dream. I don't. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, they also talk about Star Wars Rebels that the animated series being canon, and they kind of hint at things in that show that may play effect.
I like Rebels. I
yeah.
like Rebels,
okay.
Yeah.
Do they mention anything about the Greys? Okay, the Greys are supposed to be like in between the dark side and the light side.
I don't think you'll see that in the movies.
I think you may. I think that's why Rey's name is Rey. I think it's gonna be really simple. Rey, Gray. I think something's gonna happen.
I don't have enough time in one movie to do that.
Hey, look, they may make another 20 Star Wars movies. Who knows?
Well, Disney already made their money back as of last month, so
yeah,
$4.1 billion.
And that's another company. Disney's always gonna be around. Just like WWE, Disney will always be around. Okay, we're gonna get set to wrap it up. Do you have anything that you want to add to the show, or
who else are you gonna do after me?
I got to do. A couple people hit me up.
Who?
Chris Romano, Jose Salvador.
What the fuck is he gonna talk about?
TK Luther, Tony Booze, Scotty Priest. This is just for now. I mean, Hey, look, if you want to say, hey, go on his show, I'd be all for it. But it's up to them. I'll leave it up to them. But
I'm interested in hearing them.
all of them?
Sure.
Can't wait for Jose Salvador.
Yeah.
I may need a translator for that one. I don't know.
Maybe he's calling me here.
All right, anything else you want to add? Or
No, I'm good.
Want to wrap it up? All right, well, I appreciate you taking the time here. Learned a lot. Had some laughs.
A lot better than Jake's.
Yeah? Oh, boy. I don't even know if I'm doing a show with Jake. I should.
You did one right, didn't you?
No, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
That wasn't me. That was what's Double Turn Radio? That was with Edwin Ayala and another kid. I helped with producing it.
I thought that was you that did that.
I helped produce it, but I wasn't on the
You
show.
still didn't ask me no good questions either. Jeez.
Well, okay. No. What questions?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Do you even know what a good question is? Like,
People like to get me going.
didn't you have a radio show, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Is it still around, or are we gonna bring it back up, or no?
I doubt it.
No. Okay.
I think that my host died.
Oh, damn.
My host died. I said if I wouldn't do it again, unless he was, because he died. But it's a lot of work to do it. I don't know.
It is a lot.
It depends. If there's,
Did you do it weekly or daily? Or?
Twice a week. We had a lot of trouble on that show.
Yeah.
We had people having sex on there. We had people getting arrested on there.
Oh.
I met Tony on there. What else? We had somebody had Ian's girlfriend masturbating on there.
Oh, wonderful.
We gave Ian like a psychosomatic test on there, or evaluation, I should say. Jake confronting his parents on the air, which was videotaped by his brother, which is around. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff.
Wow. Okay, that's real reality TV.
All right, we done because I got this guy keeps calling me, whoever this is.
Yeah, we're done. Joey, thank you very much for the show.
Thank
you. Yeah, see you guys next time.